There we go. I always do that. I leave it on mute so that you guys don't hear all the clattering and clanking as I'm doing the thing. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I did this whole story about the gas prices. I got it, Sid. Thank you, Mickey Stein. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. It's probably all right because I was just you listening to me chew. You can hear me now, right? I was just looking at the delay. The delay of the time I'm recording to the time that you guys see it on the thing is actually considerable. Okay, good. All right, good. Yes, that works. Right on. Thank you very much, guys. Anyway, so what I was basically saying is we're gonna make a poster today, and the reason we're gonna make a poster today is because I had this kind of feeling. I have this idea for a poster in my head. And what it came from was that picture of that gas station. Because I'm walking down the street and I see that gas station sign, and that station's like not too far from my house, and they're notorious for gouging prices at that station. But I go past that, and as I pass it, I just kind of get like this feeling of like this feeling of dread about the world and life and Russia and inflation and just all this stuff. It just kind of like this overwhelming, or not overwhelming, but like this wave of dread just kind of came over me, and I was just like, oh my god, just thinking about it. And I was telling a friend, I was sharing the picture with her about gas prices, and I joked because we're going to an event together as a group on Thursday. The event that I made the poster or the thing for just a couple days ago. We're doing the event, we're talking about the event, and I said I'm gonna have to ride my bike there, even though it's only a couple miles away, but I'm gonna ride my bike there because I can't afford the gas, or I'll take one of those electric bird scooters that are around the city. And she commented, or I said it's a good thing I don't have to go anywhere, and she joked, maybe not joked, maybe she was serious. First it was the pandemic, and now it's gas prices that are keeping us indoors. It's just like, oh my god, it's just like can't catch a break. We can't catch a break. So yeah, so that's kind of what my mood is right now. At least that was my mood, and I was thinking to myself as I was having that feeling of dread going over me, I was thinking like, I need to rethink things. And it's kind of interesting because at the same time I was also listening to this one YouTuber. It was a video, obviously, but I was listening to him speak. I was just while I was on the walk, and he was talking about his daily practice of or starting a new daily practice of mindfulness, meditation. And not that I have plans of doing that, but it was just like, it just kind of got my attention enough to get me centered, to think about like instead of looking so big picture at everything, let's bring it back home and be more present where we are right now. And so I just kind of felt like I needed this moment of I needed this uplifting moment right in that moment. I need to be uplifted in that moment. And so I was thinking about that, and a visual came to my mind about what that would look like. And so that is a long-winded way around the idea for what I'm going to be making today. So that's the long story. The short story is we're making a poster, and it's going to be uplifting and abstract. Wrong one. That's not what I want either. I think I want this one. I want this one, but I want that screen. And let's get rid of that. Guys, if anybody doesn't know, if you hit tab when you're in the middle of Affinity or whatever app, it'll take all the palettes away. And so that way you can kind of get your image full display if you wanted. And if you want to go full screen, let's go like this. Oh, of course it's not working now. Why didn't it work? Oh, there we go. My computer was just slow. There we go. So that's full screen. Full screen. Tab. And sometimes you might have the rulers up there. You just hit Command R to get rid of the rulers. Tab to get rid of the palettes. Ta-da! Anyway, just little quick tips. Saw someone joke on Facebook about getting approved for a loan to buy a tank of gas. That's kind of it. My wife has a, got one of those, looking at this one. Should be looking at this one. In fact, actually, now that I think about it. It's, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to do this for a hot second because I moved the camera. So I gotta move it this way, and maybe back a little bit. There we go. Hi. My wife has a kind of a crossover, Mazda crossover. I think it takes 13, 14 gallons. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. She said it cost her like $75 to fill up her tank. I was like, are you out of your mind? Like $75 to fill up a mid-size, small mid-size compact SUV or mid-size I don't know. It's a crossover SUV. I drive a big truck. I drive a very large truck. It's got a much bigger gas tank, and it goes through gas like it's like it's water. Anyway, oh sorry, you guys got the infinite screen again. Thank you, Scotty. Let's see, what does it say? $5.23 per US gallon in Rivière Rouge, Quebec, Canada. Wow. I know I pronounced Rivière Rouge probably wrong. Mickey says, our local news did a thing on how much it would cost just for gas to go to WDW and back. Anywhere from $845 to $1,400 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. What's WDW? Let me see if I can figure it out. Nope, can't figure it out. Elon Musk must have plans to make his vehicles affordable. I'll tell you what, he doesn't need to make his vehicles affordable right now because, everybody's going to be wanting one anyway. But now he's got some serious competition coming into the ranks. Polestar just made their major announcement. Ford's obviously dropped their cars, and Chevy and all that. Let's just see though. Let's see what I invest personally in Tesla. Let's see where Tesla's prices are right now. Tesla's not their car prices, but their stock price is up today. It is officially up. Oops. It is officially up 4%, and it has been up 4%. It's my best performing stock. Of all the stocks that I invest in, it is my best performing one. So, he kind of knew what he was doing. I have Disney. It hasn't been doing very well. It does okay. But lately, like the last 3 months, not great. I mean, all my cryptos in the tank, except for one. There's one that's doing really well for me. But everything else sucks. Anyway, let's do a poster. This is not what we don't want this. I'm just gonna delete that. Don't save. Oh, this is from yesterday. If you weren't here yesterday, I made a ball as a demonstration. Don't save that. All right, so we're gonna make a poster, and if I'm going to make a poster, let's just say I want to put it up for sale up on my website as a print-on-demand poster, and let's say I want it to come in a variety of sizes. Okay, I could probably design it at 24 by 36, but that's going to be a really big file, and Affinity Photo is most likely to confound me by doing that. But let's just say that, well, for our purposes, I think the print-on-demand companies, no matter which one you go to, they can upsize a high-resolution one pretty well, right? Like, so you can take an image that's like, what would that be? It'd be 16 by 20, I think, and upsize it to 24 by 36. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this the right way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and design a poster. I'm gonna do it at 300 DPI. Okay. Change this to inches because we're American like that. Oh, that's the wrong side. I'm gonna do 24 by 36. Okay, but I'm gonna size it down. But I don't remember exactly what the size down is. Oh, what happened? Oh, there we go. Oh, that's why. I'm still enlarged and in charged. Okay, 24 by 36. But let's make this 16. And then we'll make it down 16 to 24. Okay, so 16 by 24. If I design it this size, I'll probably be able to upsize 24 by 36, no problem. And of course, I'll be able to downsize too. I can downsize to whatever it is, like 12 by 18. 12 by 16? 12 by 18? One of those two. Oh, Walt Disney World. Got it. Walt Disney World. Yeah, I can imagine that would be expensive. What is that? That's got to be like what? 1,500 miles? From Indiana? Maybe more? Probably more, right? Because it's all the way Orlando. Far side of the state. Whoa, whoa! The thing is that we've got Disneyland not too far from me. Not even 20 miles. Maybe 20 miles? Maybe 20 miles away. I still don't want to drive to Disneyland. On these prices. Well, not to mention that Disneyland is stupid expensive in itself. Like one day. And they do like local prices. Like if you're local within a certain region, they'll give you like a better price range or price for coming. Well, they were doing that. I think they stopped it recently. And it was still for a local was 120 bucks a day. And there's two parks at our Disneyland. There's regular Disney and there's California Adventure. And if you want to do two, it was like more. So if you wanted to just do one park, it was 120 bucks. It's crazy, man. The world is crazy. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and resize. Again, we're back to 16 by 24. And now I had this idea. I'm just gonna throw this up there real quick. So I'm gonna put up a new fill layer. I'm gonna make that fill layer somewhere in the tannish, brownish color. It's a little too yellow. I don't want it in here somewhere. I'm gonna throw a layer on top of that. I'm gonna go back to. Let's go back to our digital products. We'll do tender, and we'll go up here to the monochromatic. That's a good one right there. It's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I'm just throwing this up here, and obviously my file is obviously smaller than this, but I can upsize it a little bit. That's quite considerable, actually. But actually, I know what I'll do. Instead, let's do this, because we are professionals here. I'm just gonna replicate this. I'm gonna duplicate it, rotate it like that a little bit. Maybe bring it up there like that. Mask it off. Mask it off. Drag that sucker into that layer right there. Make sure I've got the right brush. Brush tool. Let's bring it all the way up here. Oh, that's still small. So I kind of want to make sure I know where I'm hitting here. I'm just gonna mask this one off here. Is this gonna be perfect? No, but it's okay because most of this is what I'm showing here is actually gonna be unseen. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So it's not perfect, but it's okay. And I'll probably go back in once I'm gonna combine these all down. Excuse me. That thing earlier just gonna mess my nose up. Allergies kicking again. I'm just gonna duplicate that by option click and dragging. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here to this mask, which is already there, and just kind of get rid of it. So this one's a little weird here. Oops, too much. Too much. Why aren't you doing... Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. Okay. All right, so now I've got these combined. Now, well, so that's reasonably good. I'm just going to group those. I'm going to rasterize and trim the whole thing. That's perfect? Probably not. But again, like I said, it doesn't really need to be perfect. But if I really wanted to, I could go back in here with my healing brush tool. Bring that sucker up. Select an area, anywhere, and just kind of like patch in. Excuse me. Nose is going bananas. When I was filling up yesterday, the guy at the gas station put $180 Canadian in his F-150. No, thank you. Good info on the upsizing. Yeah, glad to help. There's actually one thing here that's kind of driving me nuts. Again, like I said, most of this is not going to get seen, but I know that this edge right here is going to get seen. Now, the one thing about blending tools on the edges, it tends to be a little weird. You see what just happened there? Let's back this up just a little bit. See this little patch here? And I'm pointing to the screen. If you can't see my finger, but I'm pointing to the screen. But watch, when I do this, when I even just erase that little... Okay, so it works that time, so it's making me feel like an idiot. But see how it kind of like... It's almost like it wants to pull some weird data from outside the rim. That happens a lot of times when you get to the edge of whatever it is, your healing brush tool. So you may have to mess with it. Like, let's go down here and fix this one here. See how it kind of like, it doesn't want to completely erase that thing? You almost have to click and drag off it, and then, see, it's still doing it. See how it does this little weird... So in those cases, that's when I switch over to the clone tool by hitting the S key. Whoa, why is that so small? There we go. And then I'm just gonna click and drag anywhere around here and just gonna, something like that. And again, I'm probably being over meticulous on this. Oh, this one too. See, this is the same thing. Same thing, I'm grabbed from a different spot though, so it doesn't look like it's repeated too much. That's one thing you have to be careful about with the clone tool, and even with the blending tool, is repetition. You don't want patterns appearing as you're going through this. And that should be good. But I'm going to back this, I'm going to change this a little bit, change the dynamics of this. So I'm going to bring up a levels, and I do that by hitting Command L. We'll bring up levels. And instead of going through and adjusting the black and the white to get the contrast, I don't want that. In fact, what I want to do is I want to back off my gamma a little bit, and then I want to adjust my output, because what I'm trying to do is kind of even it out more, because I want this texture to be very subtle, so that when I do compare, in contrast to what we were doing yesterday, if you were here, I just want this to be subtle, right? So obviously that's not too subtle. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm trying to do the levels thing. I'm going to merge this down to that one. So now it's combined. And I'm going to do this as a multiply. Actually, maybe I'll do overlay. I'll do an overlay. I can always back that off a little bit if I want to. One thing about blending modes, I definitely recommend you bring, your opacity down, because, no matter what you do, whether it's adjustments, gradient maps, LUTs, whatever, use them with, the first time I ever downloaded a LUTs pack, I was like shocked, like as I brought it in, and it was like, just this crazy amount of color and contrast, and just obnoxious settings. I'm like, how does this even work? It wasn't until I watched the tutorial, and this was many years ago, but it wasn't until I watched the tutorial that I was like, oh, you're supposed to bring it down. This would bring down the opacity down on it, and then you can make adjustments depending on your particular image. You're not supposed to just hit it with the overpower. They probably didn't need to be totally overpowered, but the more overpowered it is, the more flexibility you have in how much variance you have there. So I'm just gonna bring it down to about 50% anyway, ish. And so there we go. Now I have a background. So just to give you an idea about what I'm looking at here, I want add, I'm just gonna throw this up here just so you can see kind of what I'm going for. So I want to add like a shape in here, kind of like this. That's the wrong color, right? And this is going to be where my main art piece is in this white box, and then probably a word down here. And I don't know what that word is yet. I'm still kind of going through some stuff in my head. I'm just working some stuff out, guys. I need to work some stuff out in my head first, guys. I'm trying to work out what word I want to put down there. I have a few in mind, but I don't know which one I'm going to use at. Because in first, what I want to do is I just kind of want to get, I want to see how this whole thing shapes up. And this shape that I just put up here is random. It's not necessarily what I absolutely want. Oh, one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two layers here and I'm going to group them just so I know what they are. So I'm going to just say background. If I can spell background. Now, this rectangle, I don't necessarily need it right there. I just kind of put it there for your purposes. But I had this thought about, you know, upward momentum, uplifting, and, you know, kind of like arrows. But then arrows kind of turned into chevrons. And I had this image that I did quite a long time ago. I'm not going to pull it out because I don't want to go fumbling through all my files for a while because I don't remember exactly where it is. But it was like these overlays of these different squares and angled or it was actually diamonds, and some of them were laid over each other and kind of created new shapes and stuff like that. So I'm going to do something like that, but instead of it's not going to be arrows, it's going to be like chevrons. But what I'm going to start with is just a rectangle, and then wow, this music is so dramatic. Something like that, right? Maybe that's a little big. I don't know yet. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. I'm just guessing on the size at this point. So then I'm going to take another one, and let's see, let's flip that vertically. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to line them up. Oh. I know there's probably a more elegant way to do this. Oh, I know how to do it. I don't know what am I thinking? Hold on. I know what I'm doing. Back. So I know exactly how to do this. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking there, guys. Okay, so here we go. So we got like this. That way I know, straight up and down, there's my line, right? So then I just bring that over, drag it like that. And then flip that sucker. Horizontal this time. Ka-chow. I'm smart too. But that's a little narrow, so I'm going to it's kind of a generalized shape. But what I'm going to do is each one of these is going to be different. So maybe one will be one color and one will be like a similar color. And then I'll change the color variation every single time. And then as I start to lay these on top of each other, they will bring in different colors and whatever. So, rise? Oh, you mean the word? Yeah. I was thinking about that, but then it kind of has a and not that this is necessarily a bad thing, but it kind of has a religious overtone with rise. You know, kind of like he is risen kind of thing, which isn't terrible. It's just not necessarily my personal vibe, but it's not terrible. It's definitely not terrible. It's not out of the question. Let me put it that way. Let me say it like that. But then I also kind of want to, like, part of me wants to use a word that implies it but doesn't say it. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means yet either. It's all just a speculation. So now I want to add texture to both of these, right? And let me just see something here real quick. I just want to compare something. If I did this, like, hold on. Ah, come on, help me. Help me out here. There we go. Nope. This is just an experimentation period right here. These are not the colors I'm going to use, but I'm just testing this out. So this is kind of what I was thinking, like, imagine it's like that. You know, but maybe it's not that exactly. Maybe it's, let's see if we do it like that, and then, but then comes over a little bit. So then these things start to overlay on top of each other and just kind of create new patterns and structures or whatever. But before I get that far, before I even go that far, I'm gonna lay the texture on this one. But I want the texture to be a little bit different. So let's bring in a new file. The quicker way was with the pen tool? How would it have been quicker to do it with the pen tool? I would have the, well, I guess I could, but you'd have to have the exact dimensions ready, right? What does Raquel say? Washington State gas is $4.39. The cheap gas. I would take $4.39 right now, Raquel. I would take $4.39. Oop, wrong one. So I want something similar, but I don't want the same one. Maybe that works. And I might actually do a couple of these. Like a couple of different versions. No, that didn't work. I'm just gonna put it like that just for now. Mask that one. Okay. Right. And I'll take this and duplicate that. Bring it over here. That's kind of weird. Don't worry about it. I got it figured out here. Take that. And I'll move it like this. This way. Or maybe like this. Yeah. And then mask that one. Okay. Bring that one down here. Okay, so now I've got two different chevrons. It's probably a little weird. This one's a little weird, so I'm gonna change it. It just looks like it's, oops. I'm gonna take that mask off for a second and then just change this. Nope, come on. Move this around so it doesn't look so weird. It just looked like it was in a weird position. Too much of a conflict to the one next to it. It looked a little extreme, so I think I'm gonna go and do the same thing I did before by adding a levels adjustment to each one of these. What I'll probably do is just do it once and then duplicate that levels adjustment. Let's move this over here for a sec, make sure it's on this level only, or on that layer only. And again, just trying to balance out the grays, the lights and the darks. I don't want this kind of variance in here that's going on. I'm gonna bring my gamma way down. That's a little better. That's better. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and then I'll just take that same, duplicate that, and bring that sucker right up in there. Boom. Boom! So now I have these two totally random shapes, and, you know, what do you call it? Then I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna bring in two of the shape. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate both of these shapes. Okay, oops. Duplicate, and then bring those up here. Bring these up. I'm gonna add in new textures on top of these two, so that way I have multiples going on all at the same time. Just for our purposes though, let's change the color. Somewhere in there. Make that, let's make this one the lighter one this time. Something like that, maybe a darker, maybe it's darker. Make this one darker. Continuity. Okay. Yeah, so new layer, or new texture. That one. Okay. And this one's a little bit more extreme, which is okay. And I can mix and match these two if I wanted. This out over here like this. Hey Hannah, how are you? I really like that picture you sent. Hannah sent me this really interesting picture of, like, she found some oil slick on a wet road, and then she also, like, and it kind of had that rainbow effect, right? Plus, it also the speckles in the concrete. When you looked at it, it looked like it was stars in a kind of like a aurora borealis, a rainbow aurora borealis. But then she had these shoes that had kind of almost a similar look to them at the exact same time. This was a very interesting picture. You should post that to your Instagram, Hannah. Or not. Or keep it for yourself. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to adjust the levels on this one right now, just so I can go ahead and have that done and not have to do it 2 times. So put up a new levels, or hit Command L. And again, bringing my output levels both directions here. Now my black is still kind of showing up a little bit strong, so this is definitely where the gamma comes into play. Like that. Don't want to go too extreme. Don't want it to disappear completely. Okay, I'm gonna merge that sucker down rest like that, and it's not gonna work. If it doesn't work, just group it and then merge. And it didn't work because I hadn't rasterized the image yet, so that's why it didn't work. So I'm gonna rasterize and trim. Okay. And we'll do one mask here, right? And that will go on that. And then we'll do it again. And what the hell just happened here? Why is it doing this? Stop. Okay. What the heck just happened here? Oh, I know what I did. I know. I duplicated that. That's why it's doing that. What am I doing? Okay. Why is it doing this? This is so weird. Is it because I want to... Oh, I know. I think I know. It's because I have the selection on. That's why it's doing it. Okay. Because it's only... Because I had the selection around it. When I duplicated it, was only duplicating what was in the selection. Okay, so now if I delete this, there we go. It's all these little things you just have to keep in mind every time you do it. And add a mask and drop that sucker down in there like that. Okay, so now this one goes down there like that. And that one goes there like that. It says, thanks, bro. You can show them if you want. Maybe in a minute. Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I also happen to have oil slick shoes. Yes, you did have the oil slick. I posted to Facebook and posted instead. Nice. My shoes are cool. Colors of my shoes change every angle. That's awesome. Okay, so now again, what did I do here? I did multiply? Yeah, multiply. We'll multiply this, and we'll multiply that. Right? And so, just as an example, I'm just gonna group all these, because that's one group. Let's just say I change that to overlay, or maybe hard light. Let's do color burn. Let's do color burn. Probably do. So then if I do this, right, it creates more interesting stuff. Or maybe I do it like that, or this direction. But I kind of want it offset, like that. And as I build, this will make more sense. And it's not going to go straight up. It's actually going to go at an angle. But I think I'm going to build this direction first, because it's easier to build instead of trying to build at an angle. So, now, here's the thing is I need to establish a color palette. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find an image that has a bit of a color palette that I want. Because I don't think I have, let's look at my swatches here. I don't really think I have a palette. Yeah, I don't have any, what's the Frankentunes one? That's not bad. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Okay, so let's do that. So let's change that to that, right? And then we'll change this one to maybe that purple, right? Change this one here to, let's leave it that, actually let's do that one. And we'll do maybe like this. Yeah. Let's see the color. Let's see if we can't. Ooh, kind of like that too. So I can always play with these. Like overlay's good. Hard light might be the one though. I think we might do hard light as the one. So now I've got them out here. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate, well, not duplicate, excuse me. I'm going to group this layer too, so then I have these two chevrons together. And I'm gonna label them so I know which one's which. Chevron 1, let's say A. Chevron B. Oh, by the way, did you notice that that was the irony? The irony of the chevrons, and maybe it isn't, maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I am. I just thought of chevrons because arrows and upwards, right? But look, hold on. Right there. That's the name of the petrol station. No joke. I just thought of that just now. Their logo kind of looks like that too. It's like two, or maybe it's one. Maybe it's one. I don't remember. Almost like mountains. Hey Sid, hi from Canada.
I don't understand.
Oh.
Hey Siri, I'm from Canada. But I could search the.
I didn't say Siri. I said hi Sid, I'm from Canada, and Siri thought I was saying hi to her. Anyway, so you know, chevrons are not an original idea. They don't get to lay claim, and I don't really care if I step on their toes because they're scalping me for, you know, they're gouging our gas prices, so I don't really care. And yes, Hannah, it does look like mountains right now, but when I do it like this, oops, nope. Oh, we're probably gonna need to. I'm gonna need to. I just thought of something. Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to rasterize these layers because what's happened is that there's other stuff on the outset that if I don't rasterize these texture layers, they're gonna create a problem for me. I'll show you exactly. Oops. I'll show you what I mean. And just see. Look that. All that excess stuff on the outside. If I move this, see all that on the outside. Can't have that. So go ahead and rasterize these. But I don't want to merge them together with those colors yet because I just don't. Because they're I'm probably going to change up the colors as I go, right? So I don't want to rasterize those layers, the actual original square, the actual original shapes, because they're super easy to change the color right now. So when I don't rasterize them, I'm just rasterizing the texture. I guess Sydney sounds close to this area. Yes. Thanks, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty. Now, I'm going to try and keep them, even though they're going to be offset. I'm trying to figure out where would the middle point here be. I'm trying to get the middle point so it's right through there. Maybe that's it. That's probably as close as I'm going to get right there. Well, it probably is because look at those two are aligned right there. Like that. And again, I'm not looking for necessarily oh, see what happened here. What is going on? There's something. This is weird. That's so weird. I don't understand why that's happening. I'm gonna do something here. Rasterize. Alright, see how it's like got this excess here? I don't know why. Okay, so we're just gonna. I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird. I'm just gonna create random selections here, just right up into the edge because I shouldn't have that extra shape there. That's better. It's still not right though. Look at that. It's like there's some information here that is for some reason not being removed. Oop. So that one's better. Okay, let's look at this one. See how that it still has that excess information. It shouldn't have that. It's so weird. Why is it doing that? When I remove the mask, it should have gotten rid of it. There's little things about the app sometimes that just don't make sense to me. So what I'm doing instead is I'm just making a selection around the thing, hitting Command X, Command V, and then I'm deleting the old one because it was, oops, I'm deleting the old one. So there's definitely something here that shouldn't be here. Let's move this over here just for this moment. Command X, Command V. Deselect, take that out. Okay, so everything, let's see, this one's still not quite right. Let's go back over here. So Command click that one, Command X, Command V, Command D to deselect, delete that layer, and now everything looks the same. And the way that I probably, the red flag that I should have had when I was looking at these is if you notice these shapes here, before they weren't quite aligned. Like this shape here in this one should have been the same shape and size. Should have taken the same space in that little preview right there, but it wasn't. That should have been my red flag. It is like it doesn't clear the pasteboard area properly. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It's weird. It shouldn't. I don't know. Whatever. I figured it out. Sometimes you got to do workarounds to get things to work right. Sometimes, and sometimes. Are you aligned? There you go. That's close enough. That's good enough, isn't it? I'm not gonna move these like that. So now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and create a whole page of this. Let's bring it down like that so that it disappears, right? And now I'm just gonna duplicate by Option Shift Drag the whole thing. Whoa, that was really messing with my eyes there for a second. I don't know if it did the same thing to you, but I'm gonna come down and just move it like that, right? And I'm gonna repeat that same process over and over again. And maybe I don't want it to be the same exact thing every time because I'm probably gonna be making some shifts. But I'm getting it close. This is gonna change. So I'm just, wait, I wanna see something. Command J. Oh, look at that. I just did Command J and it just duplicated the whole thing for me. Command J. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And maybe I go all the way up here like this, and then I'm getting kind of lost. Is it this one? No. Okay, so it's this one and this one, right? Okay, I'm gonna group those. Oh, that was weird. Guys, I just hit quit. I just hit quit. And I didn't save a damn thing. Oh, no, I didn't. That was weird. On my end, it got really weird there for a second. I don't know why. Maybe I hit Alt, maybe I hit Tab. Oh, that was weird. That scared the crap out of me just there. Woo! Phew. That scared the crap out of me. Command save. Command save. It's whew, man, that was heart-wrenching right there. Oh my god, that scared me to death, folks. Whew, man, that was rough. Next version, that will be a creative feature, right? Sorry, just catching up on the. Sorry, I was just catching up on the chat there. Sorry, I was like, I kind of focused in on this chat for a hot second. I just zoned out. All right, there we go. So it's that and that. Nope, nope, that's not what I want. I want this and this, right? I'm gonna group those. That was interesting what just happened there. That was weird, but kind of cool. So I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna do this. See, an interesting thing happens when you group them. And then that, and then that. Okay. So, let's say I was like, okay, well, these didn't quite balance quite the way I wanted them to. So now I'm just going to select all of these as groups, and then I'm just going to go up here. I'm going to realign them by hitting that right there, and that should, so on and so forth. That's not still super cool, so, but that's okay. It's okay, it's not terrible. I'm probably gonna make some adjustments to it anyway. So let's remove it up here again and do that one more time. All right, so it's not looking crazy cool just yet, but I could always do this. Let's see, let's flip this whole thing, flip horizontally. Oh, look at that, just like that, just kind of made it super interesting and cool. Even a little bit more interesting and cool. Not super interesting, but a little bit. And this one too. Whoa! Okay, so we're getting there. Getting there. Not there yet. I do believe I'm going to duplicate this one and bring this one down even further. And bring, let's move that one, bring that one. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to do that. We're going to flip that one. Flip. Right? Okay. And then realign them one more time just to make sure they're aligned-ish. Boom! Okay. Still not cool enough, though. Still not cool enough. So, what do we do now? All right, so these are good, but they're big. So I'm going to bring them down, and I'm going to hold, make sure I'm, as I group them all together, or I have them all selected, I'm making sure I'm holding shift, right? And now I'm going to turn them. But I'm not holding shift on this because I kind of want them to move at a kind of a slightly inorganic angle. I still want them to look like they're moving upward. I feel like I'm gonna mess this up if I do. If I maybe I just feel like I'm on the verge of doing something wrong here. But it's okay, because if we mess it up, we can always go back it up. Okay, Command Seth. Command Seth. All right, so now some of these I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to change these colors. So let's just say with this one here, so we've got the purple and then the indigo, but I want to do a more blue. Do I have a blue in this palette here? That's some blue. That's a kind of a blue, right? And then this one's, let's do more of a, let's do that blue, but then like that, right? Okay. And then this one here, I'm gonna go with more of the warmer colors, maybe like that, maybe opposite, like that. How awesome is this? Right? This is kind of where we're going right now. And now these are going to be, I could keep going this direction, but I'm just going to be a little bit random with the colors. Still staying in this color palette, but being a little bit more flexible. So I'm going to keep this in the green, but I'm going to do it a slightly different green, like maybe that green. Then this one's going to be yellow, but maybe it's this gold yellow here, right? And then this one here again. Go maybe into this, maybe almost this purplish gray. Maybe not. Nope, that's not gonna work. I need it, it's too muted. So maybe I'll go up in here, like that direction. And then this one will be like that. I think I may be reaching a little too far. I think I might want to limit my colors. So I think I'm gonna back those two off and just limit my colors somewhere in the range that we're at right now. Okay, so now maybe that's what I should have done, is I should have made some subtle adjustments there and then copied those, but that's okay, we can just play with it a little bit, but keep my colors in the color spectrum of the things that I've used already. So we'll close that group and open this one up. So now this one, we can go back here, I'm gonna say that one, and then that one, and then again, maybe, I think I'm gonna go the opposite with that. change that one to that one. And then this one there, okay. And then this one go back to those blues. Okay, now I'm gonna leave the other one as is. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap the color spectrum on these. So I'm gonna pull that one and change it to this. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one, change it to that. Okay. Uh-oh, low power mode. Hold on. Gotta add a little power. Genius. The only difference between genius and insanity is that genius has its limits. I have no limits. I'm sorry, what? All right, and then we'll go back and we're gonna swap those colors. Let's see, so I'm gonna do the same thing. What is it? Is it this one? Sure. And that one? No, that's too much. That one? No. Where is this coming from, I wonder? Bear with me, guys. Just trying, I'm confusing myself a little bit, so. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and then this one. Just trying to get myself in check. Okay, I did have that right. Oh man, it's a little crazy. Little crazy. It's a little hard to look at. Which could be a problem. Which could be a big problem. And I might have to go back and just like, wait, stop. But I also have a solution to that too. Because what I feel like I'm losing a little bit as I'm looking at this right now, I feel like I'm losing the shapes a bit. And it's almost like I feel, yeah, I'm not 100% sure where I'm at just yet, so I'm just gonna keep going right now. And yeah, mess around. So let's go back to this one. What did we say before? Let's do the green. I said the green. There we go. And then the back green. Right? And then this one I'll do maybe the red, but then I'll use purple with that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and last one here. Maybe I'll leave that one, but then I'll change this one to the blues. Nope. There you go. Okay. Wow. It's kind of nuts. All right, so this not quite there. So I'm gonna move it back to top level like that, just for a second. I'm late again. No worries, man. No worries, Jason. You're not late. You arrive exactly when you mean to. All right. I'm gonna get in this when I look at it like this right here. When I look at it, just right here. When I look at this right here, I get the shapes. But there's something about it when it was like the other way, when it was like this. I feel like I lost it. So, oh no, go wrong direction, Dave. Okay. So there's something about that I have to consider. This image sponsored by migraine. This image sponsored by Excedrin PM. Sorry if I'm you know, hurting your face. So I don't know. I'm gonna try something weird here. Okay, hold on. I gotta do something. I got another bug flying around in here. This one is not a mosquito. Okay, there's my center point, right? So, okay, I got an idea. All right. So now I'm going to take those three, and I'm going to go like this. I already did it. And maybe that one goes up there like that. Ooh. Wow, that's interesting. I just realized I have multiples of this. I wonder if I could get away with... Sorry guys, I'm brainstorming this as I think about it. But then how do I... So I'm just trying to justify... I'm trying to think my way through how to best manage my spatial relationship. Okay. That's decent. So I'm looking for the way to balance this. Okay. Now if you notice that when this one's here, it's kind of coming up over top that. I think it's because... Why is that one? That's weird. Interesting. I think it's because I haven't adjusted any of the colors here. So I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to fix that. Don't worry. I'm going to fix that too. Because it's following over that. It shouldn't do that. I mean, it should, but it's not. But it's doing it because that's the way I made it. But I'm gonna change it to make it look different. Hey, look behind you. I see chevrons. You do? Oh, you do. Look at that. Sort of. I think that's actually a feather. But it looks like chevrons. Yeah. You could say it's a universal theme in a lot of my work. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's move this one over here. Okay. And then, oh no, that's the wrong way. Is that the wrong way? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then this one, yeah. Okay, so this one over here. Put that one in alignment like that. Put the 1, 2 down in alignment like, nope, in alignment like this. Okay, so then technically if I do this, they should be evenly spaced. If I go like that. Of course they're not, because why would that happen? And maybe I'll go the other way with that one. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh man, I'm really starting to like this now. But not quite there yet. All right, so now this one I want to align with that line there, okay? And then this one I want to align to the bottom edge of that other one, right? There, okay. And bring that over here and snap it that direction. Okay, so now take those 3 layers, those 3 groups, and then align those across this way. And then across this way, like that. Oh my god. I don't know, I kind of dig it. But I feel like, okay, so now this is a little weird, right here. That alignment is happening right there. It's a little too much, so I think I'm gonna, maybe I need to bring it down. Something like that. And then this one, it's just gonna be, sorry, hold on. Do one more. Let's do Command J. Bear with me. I got a plan. I got a plan, guys. I got a plan. Okay. There we go. That's if I delete that one though. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I feel like it's heavy on this one side. There's more depth to that image now. Yeah, for sure. But part of the depth will happen also when I come in here and I do things like this. Just kind of, I'm gonna randomly select a blending mode for each of these until something looks cool. Color burn, color dodge seem to be my favorite. Also like pin light, vivid light. Hard mix is too much. Divide might work. Go with color burn on this one. So, just like that. Okay, but see, we're not done yet. How to do this elegantly now. If I group all these together, this could spell tragedy. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate all these. Okay, Command save. Command J. Right? Group all those. Bring those to the top. Okay. And oh my goodness. This is chaos. In a good way. Huh. There's some wacky stuff happening here. And I might be able to just manipulate some of these, just move them around in different places like this. Just kind of place them in places that feel good. That was actually better before. How about this one? Put that one. Whoa, that was way off the page. So we'll just bring that sucker right up here. Why not? I'm gonna flip that group. I feel like I want to do flip that too. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this right here. Now I'm going to go back through and I'm going to change some of the opacity layers of some of these things just because I want some of them to be opaque and I want some of them to be a little bit more translucent and kind of add depth to the rest. Yeah, like this blue one here. I just keep clicking it. I'll get to it eventually. That. And then this green one down here. Oop. That was weird. Why didn't that take? Come on. Maybe this blue up here. Although it's kind of up on its own, so it may not really change anything. Let's go. Yeah, I guess it's as good as it's gonna get right there. Right there. Exactly, Art. Yeah, so maybe this one's a bit too up in your face, so maybe I just change the color on this one until I find a color that I feel like maybe it needs to be somewhere in here, but then why isn't it? That's weird. It's weird how like I'm changing these and it's not changing any of them. That's very peculiar. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah. I think uh-oh. I feel like my computer's starting to go like, wait a minute, dude. Yeah, I feel like I'm at that. There we go. I'm at a critical point here. Let's go to the color. Let's make it something like that. And then we need a little bit warmth in here, so I'm going to go down to this one. And we're going to go back to that kind of that more brighter, or not. Oh, I know why. Because it's covered up. Oh, no, that's why. Ka-chow. Change that one to... And again, it's like it's not doing anything. That's cool. There we go. There we go. I'm digging it. Okay. So, all things being equal, this looks really good. in my opinion, my personal opinion. It's my piece, so I get to say whatever I want about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to group all these. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. Command save. Command J. Okay, bring that one down below. And now I'm just going to, fingers crossed, rasterize and trim. Because sometimes when you do this, it like changes. See, like that. Okay, so. Okay. I feel like it needs to, it's almost like it needs to be. So that didn't work. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do instead. I bring it back up. Come on, bring that back up. Okay. And I'm going to do a Command Option Shift E. And that's going to create a new layer representation of what we've got going on here. Okay, so now that layer is safe. I'm going to bring those down below just so they're not getting in the way. Okay. And now, theoretically, something like that. Now here's the problem. Here's a problem I didn't anticipate. It's not going to fill the space that I need it, because if we bring that, right, it doesn't quite fill that space. So maybe instead what I do, let's get rid of that. Okay, let's bring this back up. Okay, and now if I turn that, whoa, it is not my processor is like, what are you trying to do to me? My processor is like, say, what could I have done to you to cause you to do that to me? Okay, so obviously I have some gaps that I need to concentrate on. But it could be as simple as just moving some of these around. Maybe. Again, I don't really need it to be perfect, but you know, it'd be nice to have some continuity. But I'm gonna move this one up. I'm gonna let it try and let me do this. I don't mind a little bit of the white showing through. Like this spot up here, I don't mind that. I think that kind of works. I think I might be good. So Command G that again. Oops, I already had it Command G, didn't I? I already had it like that. Okay. Command save. Oh. We might be getting into deadly territory right here, guys. I might have to. I'm asking a lot of my machine right now. I'm gonna drop a mask on this sucker. Boom. Now, I don't know if I necessarily have the layout exactly like I want it. Like, I might also just want to just go full frame with it. Not full frame, but like to the edge. Like, let's just fill secondary color. Nope. Fill primary color then. What are you doing? There we go. Fill primary color. Like that. I don't know yet. I kind of like that. Let's get rid of that line out of there. So I'm just using Helvetica now, but I don't think that's the one I want to use. Although it's not terrible. But I want to kind of... I also want this to have, like, similar appeal to it. Like, where it's going to have the overlay. So maybe what it is it becomes masked, or... I don't know, I picked something from here and create a mask on this. Something like that, maybe. Except this is in... I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip on this just right now. I like the colors. I mean, I really dig the color. Thanks very much, Sid. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of like just playing with the text. So maybe I'm gonna select instead. I'm gonna go with Din. Let's try actually Din alternate. No, where is it? Din Shrift. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. There. It's a little on the tight side. All the way. Ah. Don't mind that stuff that needs to be masked down there. It's a little too much. I think I'm gonna reduce the size of this. Man, I turned away for 2 minutes. Oh well, yeah. It happens like that sometimes. It happens like that. I had an idea just now. I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the idea. I'm gonna duplicate that one. See, I'm gonna bring it outside of the mask. There we go. and rasterize these. Maybe not. Line these up this direction. So now these are lined up. Oh man, my computer's like, dude, I hate you, Dave. I hate you, Dave. That's what my computer's saying to me right now. This might be a bit too much. Go away. Go away. Okay. Sorry, I'm so a little bit less chatty than I probably should be, but you know, sometimes when I get in these modes, I tend to. Come on. Oh my god, give it to me. Probably should just move it. You know, I'm just gonna move it up top. There we go. That way it won't. It keeps wanting to default to whatever's behind the mask. Oops. Let's do that again. You can already see that my computer isn't even redrawing my previews right now. It's like, no, Dave, I don't like you. No, Dave, I'm not going to do that for you. I don't know if this works or not. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's something I can work with. War red? Vor red? What does that mean, Journey? What are you talking about? So I think, so here's something I'm gonna do. Well, actually, I'm gonna do one last thing. This blue one right here, give it to me, give it to me. Okay, this one right here kind of drives me a little, it's not cool. That's better. Yeah, okay. So, saving, I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sorry, I had to process thought there for a second. I'm gonna take my group. How are those not in the group? Oh, maybe they are in the group. There we go. Okay. I don't know if this is going to change things, but I'm going to try something here. Group those. Whew, look at how big that image is. Everything's all out on the outside. Okay. Wait, did I just do that? Okay. I'm going to rasterize all that. And I brought the background layer all the way up to right up underneath there, because I think that what's happening is when I grouped and rasterized that before, it was before it was interacting with whatever was in the background color, and because I grouped it without a background color there, it basically reinterpreted based on new information. So I grabbed a secondary layer, a secondary copy of this fill layer here, put it up in this group, and now if I go and do a rasterize and trim on this, not only will it hopefully reduce the size of my file considerably, it will it didn't change anything. I don't think it did. Did it change anything? Yeah, it didn't change anything color wise. Color stayed good. Did it? Did it stay good? Let's back it up a little bit. No, it did change a little bit, didn't it? See that? See, it's subtle, but it's mostly up in here. That's before. And that's after. It's not quite the same. It's like, I don't know, I just feel... I think I'm just going to have to... I think we're going to do this a different way. Instead, I'm going to take my background away. I'm going to collapse all that. I'm going to remove all of that so that now all we're left with is just the information. Let's go ahead and do my transparent background. Now all we're left with is just that. So if I go now, click on that and do Command Option Shift E. Fingers crossed. Hip bump time. You're in the zone. We're enjoying watching the process. Yeah, I was totally in the zone. Okay, so yeah. Did that work? I don't know if it did or not. Let's see. I guess it did, yeah. I guess it did. Okay. So now I can close that at least, so I don't have to see it. Bring that up like that. Bring those back up. Again, I don't know if this works. I think maybe it just, in fact, it's not working. So I'm just going to delete it. I want to work on the type. I don't know if din doesn't work here. It doesn't work the way I want it to. Maybe onward isn't the right word. I think onward is the right word. What am I saying? I think onward is definitely. But let's go back to our trusty Helvetica. Maybe we could do a condensed bowl. No. There's something to be said that, you know, I mean, this is technically it's a very modernist design. I mean, what typeface is more modernist than Helvetica? Don't anybody say Futura? Still, I mean, same, I guess, but which one's more ubiquitous? Especially in my work. I mean, I'm not mad at that. But then when have I ever been mad at Helvetica, right? Just don't ask me to use Arial. You know, I haven't had an Arial rant in a very long time. Only the people that have been around long would understand what that's all about. I don't know, I think this kind of works. So there's one issue here. If I was going to produce this on, if I'm going to produce this anywhere, really, if I'm going to get it professionally printed at an offset printer, if I'm going to send this to Printify to print as a poster print, oh man, this back here, this is not working for me now. I'm going to have to figure something else out there. This little gap, this white gap here. This one I don't mind so much, but I feel like something else is going on here. So let's maybe if I changed it, what if I did this? Maybe if I just instead like that works for me. If I'm sending this to any kind of printer, even if I'm sending it to a print-on-demand company like Printify or something of that nature, this, I don't have any bleed on this. I could have designed it with bleed. You know, that would have been simple. But I think, I don't know how their trim is on print-on-demand. And so the file that you send, they tend to just print as is, right? Maybe they do some adjustment. Maybe they pull it a little bit further out to compensate for the trim. But I don't know what that distance is. I don't know how they compensate for trim there. So if I put this type right up here against it, I probably won't lose too much, but I could lose a significant amount. The other thing is that, let's say for instance, you're getting this printed at whatever size, 16 by 24, which it is right now, or 12 by 18 or whatever. Let's say you're printing it at that size, and then you go and you get it put into a poster print frame. Well, either the frame itself, or if there's a mat, like board inside there, that's going to eat into your print as well. So if it trims some of this off, and then the print itself, or the frame itself trims a little bit off, I'm gonna lose most of that D just by having it there, because I just don't know what the trim or the bleed situation is with the print on demand. I can get one printed and check it, and then just make my readjustment if I want to. Bebas, what's up, Amin? Anything but Comic Sans. Indeed. So instead, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, if you notice, I don't know if it's the exact same size. This is where I get super crazy meticulous. I'm gonna bring in this. I'm gonna bring in a bright color. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna bring in a square shape. I'm gonna measure just like that. Make it bright. Try to make it bright. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. Then I'm gonna bring it down here. So I'm off. I'm definitely off. So bring this down. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? Here, just go like this. Drag up like that. Take this. Go back up in here into your alignment and center a line. It looks like my. So just in case I didn't have it on, I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to go center a line. Right. So now I know I'm at center. Okay. So let's bring this up here. Let's delete this one. Now I know I'm square both up here and down here. So I'm going to bring another square in, and I'll measure this distance here. Sorta, if I did it right, like that. I'm holding the shift to make sure the square stays square and doesn't become a rectangle. And now I'm going to take this, I'm going to bring it over here to this side, okay? And while I'm holding shift, I'm going to grab my typeface, I'm going to bring it like that. So now, I have perfect balance all the way around this edge. Now, not on this side, of course. But as is, it's perfectly balanced. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure, okay, that's right, aligned. So even if I made adjustments to the tracking, it's still going to be okay. Now, here's the other thing. I've got it perfectly aligned there. Like, it's perfect aligned, right? You saw it. It's perfect. Well, it's perfectly spaced in that section right there. But sometimes visually, it just doesn't quite look it. It's like it's not, like it feels a little bit off. You know, and this is just kind of like your eyeballs playing tricks on you. And it would still play trick on you even when it was printed. It's kind of like whenever you see like a framer, when they go and put a picture in a frame, sometimes they will put the picture or the thing inside the frame or inside the mat. It will be a little bit higher up than than center. It'll be a little bit higher off center because our eyeball is just, right? It's just weird. And because onward is actually down below what we, our eye line. If I'm looking straight at this, I'm looking right, here. This is my eye line right now by looking at it. Because it's below my eye line, it just automatically, our brain just kind of makes this assessment that it's a little bit lower. So I'm going to select it, and I'm just going to kind of nudge it up with the arrow a little bit into something that just kind of feels like it's right. Widen the vertical of the D. I mean, I could do that, but I don't mind the space over there, because I feel like the picture itself is the bleed of the picture itself there's enough stuff moving off the page. I don't necessarily need that to move off the page. And in fact, I might even reduce the size of it just to kind of give a better spatial relationship. Let's just duplicate it real quick just so I can show you what I mean. I'm going to duplicate this. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it kind of works. But then maybe this one is, maybe it works better up here, a little bit further over this way, or maybe it works down here. It just creates a kind of a tension in the piece that's like interesting, kind of draws our eye down to there, right? This is another thing I didn't mention in this last week's video when I was talking about like be better at design, stop worrying about like, you know, figuring out the next hottest filter technique. If you think about the greatest designers in the world, you know, the greatest minds in graphic design that you've ever heard of, how many of them are using pillow emboss? How many of them are using gradient maps? I'm guilty of using gradient maps. How many of them are using, you know, crazy Gaussian blurs and distort features, right? Or did. Well, of course they didn't. Most of them did. Most of the greats came up before computers, right? Came up before Photoshop. And you know, even some of the ones that do exist now, they use all these digital tools, but they don't necessarily use them like that, right? Because design doesn't necessarily need that. I mean, sure, it adds some cool effects. Obviously, I couldn't do these arrows without some sort of effects. At least not easily, right? It would be a lot more difficult for me to do that. I'd have to use gels or something and do the old school way. But there's something about simplicity that it speaks better. Just one man's thought. I mean, Bebas is a good. Oh, I see what you. Yeah, the font Bebas. Yeah. Do I have Bebas? I had it at one point, but I might have. Let's see. Hello. I don't have it loaded. Do I have it in my stuff? Oh yeah. I got Bebas regular. Let's see. Let's just test it. Let's Command J that sucker too. Let's try the Bebas. Where are you? Oh yeah, that works. That looks good. It's all. Is it standard caps always? D's a little bit. The space on that D is weird. Probably because of all the tweaking I did to the kerning. You guys ever try to figure out how to get your kerning exactly right? Sometimes this is kind of a weird technique that my creative director, when I was working with magazines, the creative director showed me this. You get in there. You don't want to get too big because it just kind of loses its representation, and you just squint, right? And you look for the widest. When it gets to that blurry point, you just look for what are the white or the space, the negative space parts that kind of bother you the most when you do that, right? And you tighten them up. And if it's too tight, then you just track the whole thing together. Because you've adjusted the kerning, then adjust the tracking. 100% on simplicity, yeah. What about baseline shift of on up to the top level of the D? Nah, I like the thing I like about Helvetica. By the way, I'm not mad at that Bebas, by the way. Thanks for the recommendation. The thing I like about Helvetica is that it just it's so recognizable. It's instant. It's just instantaneously. I mean, I could do some wordplay there or some play, but I mean, maybe there's something tricky to be added here, but I like that. The thing is with my work. Okay, so this is the theory how I've always kind of worked with Helvetica a lot. is that my work itself, like the stuff that I do, the crazy stuff that I do visually, is balanced by the safety of Helvetica, if that makes sense. So, I mean, let's say for instance, I filled the whole picture with this image, right? And I changed that to, now my computer battery is going low. Switch my cord. What am I doing? Here we go. I'm just gonna pull this on here like this, right? Something about that, actually, it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good right there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that almost looks better than what I have here. Just saying. Okay, Dave, let's try it. That's what we do. We just experiment. Let's see if we do this different ways. So let's get rid of this one. Okay. It's the way it works sometimes. It's just the way it works sometimes. We're down to like that. What happens if I do this? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't kill it. Because I don't want to lose too much of what I've got going on there, but. It looks like a textbook like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it. I definitely do not hate that. Maybe that's the way it works. Right? Just lean into what I made. Forget the frame. Just let the art speak for itself. And it was a perfect representation of what I was just saying about how the chaos of my work is exemplified by, or rather, it's balanced. Excuse me. It's balanced by Helvetica. The security of Helvetica. You like my style, Sid? Thank you very much. It's just one of these things, and my perspective on that is mine, right? I mean, it's learned based on years of experience doing this stuff, but I also tend to recognize some things about my own work. I mean, a perfect example is like this stuff that's going on back here, right? There's all this chaos in here, but the Helvetica stands true, right? That's not Helvetica up there, by the way. That's I think that's actually Din. I think that's Din up there where it says nothing. And then, of course, my second most favorite is Fractor. Because now that's another example, right? I'm balancing, like I have the chaos of what's going on back there. And then I have the Helvetica there to create the balance. But then I throw a little bit more chaos in my typography by putting in something crazy like a slightly unreadable black letter typeface. And that one don't listen to that one. I mean, that's all. That breaks all my rules. It doesn't break all my rules. It breaks everybody's rules. And there's still some Helvetica in it. If you go look at the very top up there, it says daily, because I was doing these daily poster series. If you look at the very top, it says daily. That's Helvetica. Helvetica is pretty much present in most, if not all, of my work. Oh, you guys couldn't even see what I was talking about. Here. This, hold on. Let me just switch something up here. There. That one. That's the other one I was talking about. That one is a bit, it's just chaos. It's chaos in a good way. It's chaos under control. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. Make sure you can see me still. There we go. Onward is a I hope you a money poster. You mean a money poster, or do you mean an SS poster? I hope you didn't mean like SS, like, you know, the Third Reich or whatever. That would be not good. What you just said gave me a great idea for something I'm working on. Good, dude. Do it. Lean into that. Lean into that. Of course, I need a little bit more balance over here. Need to make sure. Again, same thing. How much balance do I want here? Bring it up by another square. Nope. Start where it belongs, Dave. There we go. Do it to the baseline. Yeah. Okay. And then move it over there. Take my type. We used to do this. God, so many times when I was working on magazines, I would do space relationships with like a square like that. And every once in a while, I would forget about the square. Like I would forget it in a layout, and it would just show up, and then I would have to either delete it after it was at the blue line level, or it get added. Like one time it got added into the magazine, and my editor was like, "What's that pink box? Is that a design element?" And I just said, "Yeah." Oh, he's money. Good. Onward. I think we're good. I think we are golden, ladies and gentlemen. I think 2 hours worth. Almost 2 hours worth. I like it. I think we did good work together, guys. Thanks very much. Thanks for your help. Thanks for leaning in and helping me with this. And on that note, I think I'm going to get out. Guys, if you missed it, I did a tutorial yesterday about how the better way to, it was in the live, but I created, I left the video open for everybody to go check out. I did a video on how, if you really want to get a true grain out of your textures, what the best approach to it is. Like what I did here is I just added a multiply and got this texture. But what it does is it kind of lends it a little bit, like if you wanted to get a realistic paper texture out of something, you need to go a little bit further than that to make it work. And if you wanted to know what that technique is, you should probably go check out that video. Just go look for the one that's got a picture of, look for it in the live playlist, and it'll be the one that has the picture of the woman, looks like the Ice Queen from Narnia, from Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Anyway, so go check that one out, because there's probably something to it that you may or may not have thought of before. And it was something I've just kind of come to a conclusion about, if I really wanted to make sure that I'm getting a really good, proper rendition of a texture within the work. So, all right. By the way, I've finally, I've been going back and forth about what my next course is going to be, and I think I'm definitely going to lean into posters for the next one, because I love posters. I'm a poster guy. It's just something I've always done, something I've always appreciated. So my next course I'm going to be creating is all about poster design. Also, if you are on Skillshare, or you have been using Skillshare, or wanted to use Skillshare, I'm going to put a link in the description. It's not there right now, but I took Fast Fonts and I put it on Skillshare so that people go over there could check it out, and go do it. So if you want to, I'll put a link in the description. After this thing when it kind of rotates out and becomes a real video as opposed to a live stream, I'll put that link in there. I probably should have done it sooner, but I was just thinking about it just now. But if you're on Skillshare already, you want to go check out my Fast Fonts course on there, you can. Put a link in the description. Do your thing. If you wanted to sign up for Skillshare and see some of that stuff, that link will work for that too. So just kind of hold for that, because I don't have it ready available just yet. That's pretty much it, guys. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody have follow-up questions? Does this mean we're not having a live tomorrow? Yes, I'll still be live tomorrow. I'll absolutely still be live tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to work on, but we're going to be live tomorrow. But if you have any other questions, give you about 3 seconds to ask me. Otherwise, drop them in the comments of this video when it flips. Becomes a video on demand versus the live. And I'm just checking. Give it a few seconds. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, if you're missing out, like you're not seeing when I come live, it's probably because you didn't hit the bell button next to the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, what? Why haven't you subscribed? And if you have subscribed, hit the bell button so that way you know when I go live. Because the YouTubes will say, hey, Dave's live. Don't miss it. And then, of course, you know, when you get that message, you definitely want to make sure that you tell every single person you know. We'll be here. Right on. And make sure you hit the like button. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to get out. Remember, be good today. Be better tomorrow. Hasta mañana.